So It Takes Two is a co-op game where you play as the soon-to-be divorced pairing of Cody and May. So much like the plot of an 80s Disney movie, they've turned into toys and they have to reach their daughter to figure out how to turn back into humans. So this one has co-op gameplay at its very best, and it's one of 2021's standout games. So Hazelight Studio found their niche, and its co-op games, Way Out was set in prison, and they followed that with another pairing, Trapped. But this time they're trapped as tiny figurines in a big world, and you and a friend or a loved one have to navigate our protagonist double act to safety. So the platforming and the puzzles are so well thought out, they're unique and fun, you'd almost think this was made by Nintendo. But it wasn't, it was made by Hazelight Studios, and given what they've achieved here with It Takes Two, I think you should be paying attention to whatever they make next. We start out in the game with Cody and May arguing, with their daughter watching in the background. So Cody and May, they're married, but they're bickering and it appears as if their marriage is breaking down beyond repair. Well, their daughter is playing with toys in the window watching all of this occur, and at the same time she's playing with the toys, pretending they are her parents, and she's imagining them making up and living happily ever after. She cries and she wishes at the same time for them to fix their marriage so they can stay together as a family, and at that moment Cody and May transform into toys. Well, Cody and May then have to make their way back from the garden, from back into the house to reach their daughter, but given they're now tiny and the world is supersized, it's gonna be some task. Plus, they're gonna have to work together. So this is the main premise of It Takes Two. It's a co-op platformer, puzzling adventure where you have to play with someone else. You can do this either in local co-op or online, but personally, me and my wife played couch co-op, and I don't think we played a better game since Super Mario 3D World in terms of pure co-op fun. So there's so many great ideas in here and they come at you with a frantic pace. 1 minute you're going to be chasing around spark plugs with legs and fighting a giant hoover, and then next you're going to be fighting a squirrel dressed up like a bee. Well, the game manages to switch between the gameplay styles from platforming, puzzling and sometimes beat 'em up. You've got a dungeon crawler, and it's all done really seamlessly with confidence and ease. And the different gameplay styles don't feel crowbarred in, it just feels organic and well placed, but it's definitely aware of making the player's time more entertaining. The core gameplay mechanics feel great too, so Cody and May, they've got the basics. They can jump, double jump, dash and duck. They're responsive and the movements are really funny in themselves too. For example, when you hold down the left stick and run fast, somehow even that is entertaining. So as well as the basics, the characters have abilities that change from level to level. So Cody and May's abilities complement one another too, often working in tandem so you can navigate the environment or battle the enemies. So the game eases you in with a simple tutorial and then slowly ramps up the difficulty. So for example, May might have a hammer on her back and Cody's got a nail. Then you have to work as a team to explore and navigate the environment. So for example, Cody might have to shoot a nail into the wall, and then May have to run over and jump using the hammer on her back, and it all works really, really well together. So it's really inventive, and the ability pairings switch up from level to level, so they never really overstay their welcome, and it's really, really inventive stuff. Well, the main protagonists, they're fun and responsive, easy to control, and they offer up plenty of variety when it comes to the skills and ways to play. So the environments, they're equally as enticing. So the small character in a big world is a classic move, made famous by Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And there's something fascinating about a supersized world, and here the developers done a great job of creating a playful world where there's so much of it is interactive, and it's really enjoyable too. So finding the fun is often a phrase used in games, and there's plenty of fun to be found here in It Takes Two. So the gameplay is outstanding with surprises around every corner. That's going to no doubt delight you and whoever is playing with you. And the story is okay, if not a little bit predictable, but it's definitely not your 90s feel-good story, it's much more of a modern take. Outside of the two main characters, you've got Dr. Hakim, the Book of Love, who can get on your nerves a little bit, so he's there along for the ride to try and get Cody and May back together, but his voice work and overall character design is pretty annoying. One of the best things about It Takes Two is it's easy to play with someone else. If you buy the game, you get a code for someone else, so it's very easy to pick up and play, and it's also added to Xbox Game Pass recently, making it even easier if you want to share it with a friend. So I reckon the best way to play is on the couch, either with a loved one, or with someone from your family, or with a friend, or I guess you can play it online too and over Discord. But there's nothing like taking on the bosses in this game with someone next to you. Me and my wife had a really, really good fun taking on that first boss. There was phase after phase of difficulty, And when we finally beat the boss, we high-fived and hugged each other. It was really, really good stuff. So It Takes Two is an ambitious co-op puzzle platformer that's so well executed, so it makes you sit up and take notice regarding what Hazelight Studios are doing. Here they've crafted a wonderful game in terms of gameplay and constantly changing and evolving the mechanics without it feeling forced or complicated. So it's a touching story and a highly memorable game, and if you haven't played it then you really, really should. I recommend playing it with a loved one, be that a partner, a kid or a parent, but it's going to be a great experience and one that you can look back on together. Well, the game was developed by Hazelight Studios, it was published by EA, it's available for the Xbox, PlayStation, PC and Nintendo Switch, and it was originally released on the 26th of March 2021. Well, that is it for my review of It Takes Two, and it is, of course, up for Game of the Year 2021, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this takes it. It's really innovative, it's really good fun, and it's a really good example of co-op gameplay too. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.